What's going on, guys? Myself, so doing another video commentary. This time it's Domination on Grind. And a little bit about the gameplay. I do okay-ish in the beginning with the Type 25, and then I switch to my MTAR and just wreck these people. It's not even funny. So, anyway, I'm going to be talking about some channel updates and the main topic of the video, which is how well balanced Black Ops 2 really is. And start off some channel updates are every video, whatever gun I'm using, I'm going to put a picture of the gun I'm in real life, just to kind of give you guys a little idea of what I'm using. And I understand the Type 25 does not exist yet. That'd be kind of cool if it does in real life. But I'm pretty sure the Type 95, the QBZ 95, which is the modern version, you all guys know from Modern Warfare 3, is that I'm pretty sure it's still used within Chinese forces. I don't know. I'm not Chinese, so I wouldn't know that. Excuse me. Anyway, once I switch over to my MTAR, I'll throw a picture of that up too, and that gun is just, it's a lot of people underestimate because it's the first weapon unlocked, but however, it's nasty. I mean, I think the Type 25 and the MTAR are probably two of the best weapons to be default unlocked. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the balance of Black Ops 2 and why this is such a balanced game. I doubt Treyarch had balance every single 100% of the time that they were designing this game. But I'm pretty sure for a fact that they most certainly did not overlook it, because I've talked about weapon balance in the previous video, but I think a lot of people need to really step back and look at what makes the entire game balanced as a whole. Look at the map balance. Domination, you flip sides. Obviously, Demolition, Search and Destroy, and all those other objective games, you're gonna flip spawns. I think the only one is Kill Confirm. That's the one that doesn't make you change spawns. But it also, if you just look at in general, I don't know why I tried spraying this guy here, but in general, the maps are pretty equally balanced. Like, Grind is probably one of the weirder maps because there's a lot of head glitching spots. Like right here, there are a couple of spots on this map where there's no way you're gonna have an advantage over somebody who already does. It's kind of weird, but it's a bit different. And I think weapon balance is probably the biggest thing, probably the biggest buff thing I want to say in the entire game, because there's no one particularly good gun that, like, let's face it, Modern Warfare 3, the ACR 6.8, that was the gun that everybody used, the MLG tryhard gun, those in the FMG9s, but yeah, so nail this guy here, and I think that's what kind of makes this game good, is that there's no, oh my gosh, there's this one gun, the one map, the one perk, the one everything that makes everybody want to use. They include couple new perks, that's pretty neat, like Dexterity, which I don't think I think there's been like the pro versions, but obviously there's no pro version of the perks in this game. And I think that kind of helps because it helps balance it a bit more, which makes I think they kind of took the whole anti-camping thing a little bit too, because they also there's no way you could possibly, I mean, you can sit in the corner with Cold Blood all day long, and if you're gonna pay $60 to do it in the corner, save yourself the $60 and do it in real life. I think it's a bit more fun because you're actually living it instead of just playing, moving your thumbs around. This guy, I didn't even see him. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that it's the game as a whole, which I think most people will need to really stop and smell the flowers about, is that don't nitpick every single thing about the game that makes it. I don't know what this guy's doing here, but people need to stop nitpicking every single piece about the game and saying that's why it sucks. They need to look at the game as a whole, and since I'm a filmmaker, I'm gonna kind of look at this as movies. I'm a huge fan of action movies, the whole gun shooting, firefights, cars blowing up, the whole 9 yards. And I look at these reviews of movies, and critics say they suck, and I look at what the reasoning is, and it's because the character development is, the story's weak. Okay, there are some movies that have a really bad story plot. Yes, like Transformers. I'm throwing it out there. That's not the one of the best. It's cool because it's directed by Michael Bay. It's got non-stop action, the hot girl, all the 9 yards that an action movie needs. But to call it a bad movie because of one thing, that's like your teacher giving you an F for not turning one assignment, and if you turn in all of them. And I think we've all been there where the teacher busts your chops because you failed one test or forgot one homework assignment, and you've done well on the other ones. But back to Black Ops 2, most people say the guns are overpowered, the maps, this and that, the whatever, and are there a couple guns that are overpowered? Yeah, the FAL to an extent, like this you'll see right here. To an extent, the shotguns, but I have to admit the shotguns do, besides the M1216, they do. Excuse me, or not the M1216, the S12. They do take some skill to use because you have to line up your shots pretty good, especially KSG, considering that it's pretty much a pump action assault rifle. I understand the shotgun slug is not an assault rifle on the whole 5.56 caliber. I understand that, but the fact of the matter is that the KSG shoots one projectile at a time instead of like the Remington, the S12, or the M1216 that shoot buckshot, which is just the kind of way you shoot it spreads. But anyway, the whole thing of the game as a whole is, I think it's great. I enjoy playing it. There are a couple times when you want to try something new. Yeah, I think we all have the time where we get bored for the game for no apparent reason. Boom, get this guy. Let's go start the streak right here. Some people, the entire thing, the whole game, just makes it's more fun when, I think it's quote Dave Von Har, when skills of equal play. Of, okay, you have the guns that you can run and gun with, but you also have the guns that you can just, whatchamacallit, kind of sit back and talk about the snipers and the LMGs. You guys know who you are. And I want to say they buffed some of them because they made it work in the sense that the LMGs weren't just, now you don't have to dedicate them to anti-air. You can actually use them. They're usable. I mean, the hammer is fun. There's a weird that the fire rate changes, yeah, and that's what kind of sucks, and especially when people are trying to get you. And the QBB, I'll have some gameplay of that thing with rapid fire, and it is just so much fun just to goof around with. The recoil kicks like a mule, but it's fun. I think that's what most of the guns in this game are too. They're not the guns that you would probably want to use in an MLG tournament, but just fun guns to goof around with. Such as if you ever try rapid firing the Mark 48, I haven't tried on LSAT yet, but they're just fun because they're fun just to kind of, they're different. They're very, every gun is unique. Every map is unique. To me though, I feel like Aftermath is just a reskinned Black Ops 2 version of what this guy's doing here. A reskinned kind of Black Ops 2 version of Downturn, if you remember that from Modern Warfare 3, the whole destroyed New York City. And I know it doesn't take place in New York City, it's Los Angeles, and the whole takes place on Judgment Day, blah, 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 the whole, yeah, I understand all that. But the whole, other than that, I think that's probably one of the worst maps, I want to say. I don't really like that map. And, Slums is a pretty good map. What's the other one I'm thinking? Standoff is a good map. There's a lot of good maps as a matter of fact. And the DLC too. So usually like, okay, the DLC kind of sucks because they're not. But I have to admit, all of the maps are actually good. They're all fairly balanced. Everything is, like I said before, in this game is fairly balanced. And I think that's good because we need more games like Black Ops 2. Will Call of Duty be the number one selling game? Probably. It'll be there for a while. It ain't going nowhere for a little bit. I'm talking like maybe 3 or 4 or 6 years though, if we're lucky. And which is fine. I think by most of us, you figure all around either probably, I want to say, between the ages of 12 and probably 40 playing video games with our sons or whatever. We're teenagers playing it. And I think that's what's kind of good because there's always that factor, especially that they implement it into Black Ops 2, that there's always some kind of replayability. The maps, you can play I think you can play every map. Like these 2 windows right here. You could sit up here at the sniper or camper or the LMG and just camp your ass off the entire match. Is that fun? I don't know. We all have our own definition of what's fun, but the fact that, and also if you want, you can just run out the SMG and just spray people in the face if that's your choice. Especially you guys with the Scorpion. I tried it. I think that's probably one of the overpowered. What I mean by that is the one with the high rate of fire. Other than that, I think that all the guns and everything just in this map. The bottom line to me is this map. This is probably the most balanced Call of Duty I've played in a while. And go ahead if you want to say what you want. Most people are gonna say it sucks or this or that. This is just kind of my opinion, guys. But I think this is probably one of the best balanced games. There's no one gun that everybody has to use. There's no one perk, attachment, whatever. I mean, Target Finder is a bit overused, but there's always going to be that one perk or one anything. And basically that's it. So that wraps up this commentary. Thanks for watching, and remember to drop a like and a comment down below, and click that subscribe button if you want to see future videos. And I'm out here, guys.